I don't know about you, but it feels like trading could be an addiction, correct? You get up each day and you look forward to getting from the charts to try to make what? Money. Because to me, if you know what you're doing when it comes to trading the future markets, it is probably the most easiest thing in life in terms of making money that you could possibly do. I'm talking about making $500, $1,000, or $2,000 or $3,000 or more, depending on how much capital you are able to leverage in the market each and every day. What job out there can pay you the same as you could in terms of making money within a matter of seconds or minutes? Not many, right? So that's why a lot of people are shifting or transitioning or quitting their jobs to be able to find something that they love to do. For me, I am completely obsessed and passionate about day trading because it has provided a lifestyle for me and my family to where we can live comfortably and don't have to worry about, much at all. All right. Now, I will say this right now. If you're someone out there who's actually struggling, please spend time watching the video content. I can assure you just about every question you have, I've covered it in some fashion, form, or way here on the channel. So watch the video content. It could do you some great some justice. Seriously, I mean, if you spend time watching the content, and for all those that want to become an elite or an ultra elite, to where I really break things down in detail for you, I'll talk about that towards the latter portion of the video. So please watch the video in its entirety, because today I want to talk to you about why am I so obsessed with trading the future markets, in particular the Nasdaq futures. All right. For one, it is a thin market, okay? Yes, it has a lot of movement. It is very volatile, but there are multiple setups within a trading session that you can find if you know how to trade correctly and you have a great strategy and trading plan to follow. I will say that again. Having a great trading plan and strategy, number one, being market structure as well, can lead you in the direction of making money each and every day. You don't need to buy someone's course, okay, or join or pay for someone's mentorship program. That's where things and people start to spin the wheels because they jump from one thing to the next, trying to find or in search of something that works. Spend time watching the video content. I'm telling you, if you come over to our Discord, it is free to join. If you go down to the testimonial channel, you'll see there are people that are passing their prop firm evaluations or challenges, and they're on their way to making their own money. I share a very simple strategy in how I trade, all surrounding supply and demand and using multi-chart confluence, but I don't trade time-based charts or ticker volume. I'm using range bars, okay? This is something that I perfected that has allowed me to become consistently profitable day in and day out. But I've got to tell you, number one thing I'm always looking at and following is looking at structure, because if you do not know which way to trade, meaning the direction, okay, you're taking a shot in the dark. I want to know which way and who's pushing the market first and foremost. Retail traders were not. The banks and institutions are. So I want to follow their footprint. Okay. So I'm very patient and I wait methodically to, look for opportunity within the market. Today I only took one solid trade, but it was off a beautiful area of demand, which I screenshotted and posted that entry and trade over on our Discord community. So that's what I'm telling you. I post my trade entries as well as other traders over on the trading floor on our Discord channel, okay, or on the Discord channel. I took this trade off of this demand area right here, going back to the upside, all right? Beautiful area, where there was a high probability setup. When it comes to the way I actually trade, I start with a higher base chart to formulate an idea of which way the market is looking, which way is it moving, and, last few days, we had this dip to the downside. Well, going back prior to that, if you really want to take a look at it, we had this massive sell-off of over 1,000 points to the downside. Then we bounced here, started making higher highs and higher lows. We consolidate in this area a little bit. Then we pushed to the upside, breaking structure higher. At that point, I would be looking for the longs. And then we came back down to the downside, making structural breaks to the downside. So then my mind started to look for shorts, right? And then yesterday, trading session, which was the 26th, we started making higher highs and higher lows, breaking structure back to the upside. And this was the significance of the reason why I look for a pullback to mark up on my higher range chart. Yeah, I'm kind of covering the strategy right now. You're sitting here listening. I'm covering it right now in a sense. Mark up your higher range charts, okay? All right, or your higher time charts surrounding which way the market is moving. If we're pushing and bullish to the upside, look for only demand setups, yes, supply and demand, where there's aggressive buy-in coming off of or out of an area where the market made a high, higher low, and broke structure to the upside. Okay, but there's a multitude of things going on right here. Liquidity was being grabbed and taken out to the upside, which marked this area of beautiful demand right here. So I'm looking at multiple things. This was a prior area of liquidity. The market runs it to the upside. It breaks structure. Beautiful area of demand right here. The most important part of this all, I'll be honest with you, and where I break down the steps and things. If you watch the video content in full, especially if you're an elite or an ultra elite member or supporter of the channel, which is very inexpensive, but that's where I really break down the cornerstone, the blueprint to how I trade in relation to trade breakdowns, because there's plenty of video content there to where I break things down using this simple strategy so that you can understand and possibly use it in your own personal trading, okay? But it was a imbalance or gap resting back at the zone. You hear me talk about that a lot here on the channel, because if there's an imbalance or gap resting back at the zone, to me that signifies there must be orders still resting on the book, possibly, that the banks and institutions are looking to fill those orders when they get back to them, to these areas here, to fill these imbalances or gaps back to the upside, and they're going to bounce back. When they get back to the downside, they're going to bounce back up to the upside. So hopefully that makes sense to you. But this is something that I perfected, looking at and studying these gaps or these imbalances resting back at these zones. And number one, I want to see break a structure. Okay, I like to have that. I gotta have that. We got a high, a low, or higher low, and then breaking structure to the upside with a gap resting back at the zone. This is what makes up a beautiful recipe for a great strategy. You're just simply using the range bars. All right. Again, you don't need to pay for any type of $2,000, $5,000 course. I supply everything and personally how I actually trade and share it with you for just pennies on the dollar a day. I'm talking about very inexpensive for anyone that wants to become an elite or an ultra elite supporter of the channel. The link is down below. Again, I'll talk about what you receive with that towards the end of the video. But yeah, this is the reason why I am able to be profitable each and every day, and the reason why I'm passionate about what I do every day, because for one, I don't have to spend 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, for one, working for someone else, sitting at an office desk somewhere, putting a lot of grunt time, and just basically, seeing someone else get paid, meaning the money's going straight to the top, and I'm getting paid just a small margin or a minimal margin amount as far as a wage. Okay, with trading, the sky is the limit. You're your own boss. Okay, you wake up, all you have to do is perfect the charts, understand what you're doing, and you can make money every single day. And you don't have to have a goal of making $1,000 or $5,000 a day, because in time, when you learn the grassroots and learn from the beginning, okay, all right, you start to grow as a trader. You start to compound your account as a trader. And then if you want to trade larger lot sizes or go for, larger runs or use a trailing stop that I talk about, that strategy that I talk about so much, and how to trail behind price so you can maximize profits. I'm telling you guys, I spend and give a lot of valuable information for almost free on this channel. Okay. If you spend time watching the video content, you could be a self-trained, self-taught individual trader, trader, if you watch the video content, because that's what I did. I went back after 2 years of struggling, basically had to go back to the grind from the beginning to train myself. I'm self-taught, okay? All right? But I do, I have researched, the basics, the concepts, the grasp and understanding of what trading is all about, how I go about trading, strategies, just a multitude of things. Okay. I want to be different than everybody else who trade, time-based charts or tick or volume. I want to perfect and understand how to trade range charts, because unlike, time-based charts, which, bars close and open based on the amount of time, range charts, the bars close based on the amount of volume, momentum's coming into the market. That's where you're going to see the push and pull, or really the closing of candles either to the downside or to the upside. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to range bars as a whole. Okay, how much volume stepped into the market at a key area. All right, and then if you see the market start to swiftly move away from it, that tells you there's an influx of volume that stepped into the market. All right, again, getting the direction of the market is imperative, because that's going to help you understand the direction what you need to trade. So for me, like this morning when I saw this pullback, this key area of demand right here, I love this area for one. This was a low probability area. I talk about high probability versus low probability setups. What's the nature and the makeup of them? Again, I give so much information surrounding how I personally trade and providing you valuable things that can, again, help you in your own personal trading. But when it came back here, I marked this area up first on the higher range chart, my 120. Then I'll look for on my lower range chart, which is my entry chart, my 24 range chart. I'll look for an opportunity when it taps this area to look to go long. So if you look for rejection and the market gets here, maybe you're looking for a bullish run or cycle back to the upside where it's making highs and higher lows and pulling back to a newly formed, say, demand area. So basically you have a demand setup off the higher range, a demand setup off the lower range, and then the market pushes back to the upside. We've had liquidity resting at these highs up here, like above here and above here. So the market, as you see, went up there and grabbed that liquidity, and then it, is trying to figure out what it's going to do next. But this was a beautiful run right here. I could have held this through, but I got in slightly above, I believe this area right here, and I got out somewhere up in this area here. So picking up 20 plus points a day is, for me, that's good enough. Depending on how many contracts you're trading, and you could do the same trading in micros just as well. Matter of fact, you could do the same trading no matter the market that you actually trade. So if you're really trying to find something that actually works, I know people probably say that, well, I've tried this, I've tried that. I've been there, okay? I've tried this and that and every indicator under the sun, and I'm here as a true testament to tell you that the number one way how I found out to trade the correct way was going back to a naked chart and being able to read market structure and flow of the market simply by using my eyes and learning that way, okay? That's why I provided, great content for all those who want to become an elite or an ultra elite supporter. You'll find a great video there surrounding market structure, okay? Because I feel that is the number one thing that a lot of people need to grasp first is, if you don't know how to read the market, then how are you going to know how to trade the market, okay? All right, so that's extremely important. So that's what I wake up each and every day. When I first look at these charts here, I'm looking at, okay, what's taking place? What do we do here the day before or the prior days? What are we doing now? What does structure look like on the market? Pushing up, coming back, now we're pushing higher. All right, I'm looking to go long. That's a major high resting up here. There's a major low resting here, but we are breaking structure back to the upside on the inside of this leg. I'm breaking things down, okay? So I can grasp an understanding on which way I need to trade and then follow suit with the strategy and how I trade. If that makes sense. Hopefully it does. But yeah, whether it's the Nasdaq futures, the E-mini S&P 500, gold futures, whatever it is you trade, this strategy actually works, but you got to put the work and time in for any particular strategy, and seeing it through to see if it's going to work for you. Because not everything is going to work for everybody. I'll tell you, I say that for a reason, because a lot of people, they have a hard time battling their own self, their own psyche. So a strategy can work so well, but until they are able to grasp and understand it, or they are, dealing with some conflicting issues themselves, fear, FOMO, greed, whatever it may be, the strategy may never work for you because you can't see it through correctly. I don't know how to see it at all. Okay, so you really got to spend time back testing and forward testing for something to work for you. Okay, but yeah, this right here, where I'm waiting for gaps to be filled. Okay, back to an area of supply or demand. This case here being demand. This was a beautiful pullback to a key area of supply right here. After it broke this area of structure, coming to the downside, that was supply right there. We got a gap fill on this area here off this candle right here. So that marks it to be a high probability setup. Same thing here. There's a gap on this bar right here. Market comes back to this area here. I'm looking to go long. That's what I'm looking for each and every day, is for beautiful setups surrounding structure, surrounding breaks of structure, surrounding areas where the market is either bullish to the upside or to the downside, and waiting for those key areas where the market pulls back to those zones. All right. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for someone's trading course to perfect this stuff. Put the time in, watch video content, especially here on the channel. I would love to see you spend time watching the videos here on the channel, because I believe that a lot of people can pick up some valuable information. And to all those out there that constantly send me DMs and comments letting me know that continue doing what you're doing, continue pushing forward. Thank you for all the content that you're actually making is making a change in my trading. I'm going to continue doing so because I know it's changing people's lives out there. All right, I'll leave you with that. Okay, but yeah, spend some time watching the video content, and you will start to grasp and understand the strategy, especially if you become an elite or an ultra elite supporter of the channel. And how can you do that? Down below, if you scroll down to the description portion of this video, you're going to see the first link is the Discord. Click on that if you want to join. It's free. The second link is titled Ultra Elite Supporter. If you click on that link, wait a few seconds, a couple of tiers will pop up. You're going to want to choose either the Elite or the Ultra Elite tier. To the left-hand side, you'll see it pop up. Once you click on it or hover over each one of those tiers, it's going to tell you the perks and rewards you receive. If you want to become an elite member, you receive all the trade breakdown videos where I go into detail about structure, the price action, why I took that trade, what was my mindset, what was I thinking, what was I looking at, where to place profit target, where to place stop loss. There's tons of those videos on there because people who are watching those videos, those trade breakdown videos, that's where they're understanding the sauce. That's where they're understanding the blueprint, the cornerstone to how I actually trade. But you also receive the video playlist as well as a great video that I cover with market structure. Yeah, for just pennies on $1 a day. So you'll see the price once you click on it. It's like $6.99 a month. That's all it is. If you want to become an ultra elite, you receive everything I just discussed, plus the live recorded trading sessions and my market recap videos. All right. So the choice is yours, okay? But outside of that, guys, that's really all I have for you today in this video. If you are not a current subscriber and you did not sub at the beginning of this video, please take the time to go ahead and subscribe by clicking that button. Make sure to turn your post notifications on by clicking the bell. And last but not least, if you found value in today's video content or any video that you watch across this channel, please make sure to drop me a like. Take care. I'll see everyone in the next one.